Feeding the Future, Health and Choice in SLU's Lunchline. Obesity is a growing problem in the United States. According to the CDC, nearly 20% of children in America fall under the obese classification. The most worrying part of this is that it is children. Studies show that poor eating habits developed young often continue into adulthood, which increases the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic illnesses. Schools across the country play a crucial role in their students' health by providing meals and education, but how much of a responsibility do they really have? SLU provides the majority of its 1,100 students with lunch every day of the school week. This is important, as the CDC says that schools that serve healthier meals see improved student focus and academic performance. SLU's food is outsourced to a company called Food Service Consultants, or the FSC. They provide food primarily for schools, along with other events like weddings and parties. While FSC's SLU head chef Rob dodged an interview, I was able to get one with one of their longest-serving chefs.
How you doing? My name's Terry Jacobs. I've been in the food industry since '99.
First up, I asked Terry about how he took students' health into account at SLU.
Well, we have the health portion of the menu, and we have the eat whatever you want portion of the menu. Most of the kids do the health portion of the menu, but then we have the younger students that want the eat whatever you want menu.
Beyond learning about the disparity in healthy choices between the under and upperclassmen, my talk with Terry led me to understand how tough it is to plan for feeding so many kids in terms of choosing the menu and planning far in advance. However, I knew I had to get deeper into the issue beyond just the supply side, that is, the FSC. I decided to turn to some of SLU's students that were familiar with the Lunchline and its offerings. After all, they were the ones that actually taste and eat the food on a near daily basis.
Hello, my name is Marshall Prost, and I play roller hockey.
Do you bring or buy your lunch?
I buy my lunch.
What sort of things do you usually buy?
I usually buy the chicken breast or the hamburger, the spicy chicken, really anything that's out there.
Now, Marshall, do you think that SLU's options are for the most part healthy?
Not exactly. A lot of it's really greasy. I mean, it tastes really good, but from a health perspective, I'm not too sure.
Marshall and I then spoke of how the cheap pricing of the cheeseburgers makes them enticing to him, as they're able to fill him up on a budget. He then spoke about how they've negatively impacted his roller hockey performance, making him sluggish on the court. Lastly, I asked him about how it affected him during the school day.
But really, after I eat a greasy meal, there's nothing I want to do more than just veg out, not go to class.
Marshall, so why don't you find yourself bringing your lunch?
Well, I used to bring my lunch freshman year, sophomore year, but since classes got harder, I started doing homework later in the night, so I found less time to make my lunch the day before. And now that my brother's in high school, he goes to DeSmet, boo, I find myself, I have to bring him to his carpool in the morning every day, and so I don't have time in the morning to make a lunch either. It's just more convenient to buy. After speaking to Marshall, someone who primarily buys his lunch, I then spoke to Isaac Basie.
Hi, my name is Isaac Basie. I play rugby here at SLU.
Or how often do you kind of bring your own lunch versus buy?
It kind of varies. I have bought my lunch more recently this year, but in past years I brought a lot, and for the past couple weeks I've been bringing my lunch, so it kind of varies. Some days I'll bring, sometimes I'll buy. Depends on how early I get up in the morning. I like to bring salads. I bring tuna some days. I'll pack stuff that I think has higher protein content, lower calories.
Yeah, that's good. And then when you buy at SLU, what sort of things do you buy and kind of healthiness on those options?
Typically, I just try and go for the stuff that's kind of cheaper and easier. Just, chicken sandwich burgers, they got fries. Some days there's wraps and stuff that I'll go for. I think that it would be nice to have some things that are good with that sort of high protein content and like lower calories, stuff that's not maybe so greasy. And sometimes they offer like grilled chicken, but typically it's with the SLU plate, which is like pretty expensive. And then they'll have salads too, but I often find that the salad bar is kind of like lacking.
The final student I interviewed, Luke Rule, had much to say about how what he has eaten at SLU has changed over the years.
Hi, my name is Luke Rule. I am a senior here at SLU, and I play soccer. I played for both SLU High and some club soccer as well.
Do you buy lunch here at SLU?
Yes, I buy pretty much every day.
Now, do you think that you eat healthy when you buy lunch here?
I'd say generally. Most days I get some chicken breasts and some sort of carb with it, along with milk. Yeah, when I was younger, I'd eat like a burger every day. And then once soccer trials came around my junior year, I went to the first day of practice, this is after trials. I went to the first day of soccer practice, and I had a cheeseburger for lunch that day, and I felt terrible. So I pretty much just stopped eating like cheeseburgers and other unhealthy things. Like when if I had the option of a chicken breast with like some sort of pasta or rice.
These students all were able to recognize the problems with the lunch line and the unhealthy food. However, they also did seem to have figured out systems at SLU and home so that they could continue to eat healthy food that they would enjoy. To fully understand if having these unhealthy choices lying around the SLU lunch line was good to begin with, I spoke to SLU's nurse and health expert, Scott Gilbert.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Gilbert. You're a registered nurse here at St. Louis University High School.
Overall, would you say that you're happy with kind of the quality of the food that SLU serves and the nutrition within it?
It's a good question, and my answer, without hesitation, would be absolutely. It is constantly evolving, and but it's trending the right way, in my opinion. I mean, any given day, I mean, you can walk in there, and I just got done with health class just last hour, and I was talking to them a little bit about this. I don't know if I've ever walked in there in the last year or so now and not seen grilled chicken. I mean, it's like almost every single day it's an option. I don't know if I've ever walked in there and not seen an option for a vegetable. I've seen broccoli, I've seen cauliflower, I've seen the carrots, Brussels sprouts the other day. I'm not so sure how many people like Brussels sprouts, but it's there. We as individuals need to take ownership of the decisions that we make and things that we choose. We can't be pointing fingers at everybody else and everything else saying, well, it's their fault and it's this company's fault and it's McDonald's fault and it's, we have to take ownership. We're the ones that are making the decisions, and so we need to look at ourselves and what we're doing.
SLU and the FSC do a nice job of at least providing their students with the option of healthy food in the form of chicken breasts, salads, daily vegetables, and other rotating options. While the price of these items, along with how many people actually gravitate towards them, can be debated, the healthy options at least being there is the important thing. While there are plenty of unhealthy sodas, candies, pizzas, and all of these highly unprocessed foods, it's important to recognize that those things are in the real world too. SLU's students will grow up and need to learn the complex world of nutrition in our society, where they must face an industry that is willing to capitalize upon their health. Combining SLU's health education to teach kids what to pick with the relatively expansive options of the lunch line is what SLU has determined to be the best way to keep their students healthy and prepare them for a life of self-control beyond SLU.